Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Happy Friday to deep within the entrails, the heart of Gold Bond Inc. here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Hickson, Tennessee. I'm Bryan Shannon, Strategic Account Manager for Virginia, the Carolinas, and Tennessee. And with me today, a Facebook Live premiere from Gold Bond, our illustrious plant manager,
yes,
Mr. John Broughton.
John Broughton, yes.
And so, John, what's your name?
John Broughton.
Great.
Plant manager.
And John and I were talking earlier this week about a lot of things, a lot of it having to do with kind of what you're having to do with the plant right now to kind of help with cleanliness, making sure things are sanitized. I know I have my temperature taken today right when I came in. Before we do that, I've been asked to check in with you about your shirt because I want to understand. I'm not familiar if this is a club or if this is a type of gathering. Tell us about the Roush shirt.
It is not a club, but it's rumored to be so.
Okay.
And it's rumored that I am the president of said club, which I am not. Roush is an automobile made by Ford. Could be a Mustang or a truck. I have the Roush F-150 truck. So people like to give me a hard time when I wear this shirt, which is fine. I fully deserve it. So yes.
I promise you that was for an audience of one who's on Facebook Live right now, and I've done my due diligence.
I think I know who
I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 do not count as to who that was.
I know who it is.
So if there's anything embarrassing you'd like to ask me about before we move on, I want to at least allow you the opportunity to return that.
Sure. So we were talking earlier in the week that you were a work from home
yes
person for quite a while, and now you're back in the office, which is predominantly female.
It is. I'm in a room right now for 8 hours a day at a desk with 9 of the finest individuals, all women. From 8 until 5.
That was very clever. That was smart, guys. You should learn from that. Yeah, so I'm assuming that has to be a little bit of a challenge because they're a chatty bunch. You know, when I go in there, they like to talk.
They're vocal. There's I like to describe it as there's an energy. There's a great there's a fire in the belly. There's a way that and sometimes that energy is louder. If you're one of my clients and you hear maybe a little more background noise than what you're used to hearing, that would be why. I did learn this week there was a gathering after work at one of our person's homes. What the folks refer to as one of these Botox.
I heard about that. I heard about it.
Cosmetic things, and apparently it was much discussed the following day. And I'm not going to lie to you. Not that I would have gone. Because again,
But you didn't get an invite.
You at least want to be asked. Would you like to come? And I don't know what microblading is. I don't know but it sounded great. But anyways, but it's been an adjustment definitely in coming back in here, but it has been good to be at least I like it seriously, and also being on site here in the plant, being able to have more immediate access to the resources here and to
sure
have
that certainly helps, right?
We say that now until I'm coming into your office for the 5th time that day going, John,
and he will be, folks. Let me assure you, he will do that.
We need to rush the order. Well, one of the reasons why I did want to bring you on to talk this week, we were talking earlier about sanitizer and about what it's like kind of here in a COVID, post-COVID, whatever we want to call it, period where we're having to really reevaluate and look at how we are cleaning our workplaces. And one of the comments that you made when we were talking about the plant, I think you said, this is the cleanest the plant has been, like spotless probably from top to bottom.
No doubt.
And again, it's not that it was that dirty to begin with, but can you talk a little bit about kind of what your focus is right now in running a production facility and having to make sure things are clean?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we've always prided ourselves on having a good, clean, nice work area, making sure everything's clean, no clutter, no dirt. But with COVID, it's definitely brought to the forefront that you're going to have to clean in some totally different ways than you might not have in the past. Mm-hmm. We wipe down the equipment, doors with bleach every day, bleach wipes. Even the floor machine that we use to clean our floors, we have a bleach solution that we put in there now as well. We're just trying to do everything we possibly can to keep that ugly thing out of the building, right? Mm-hmm. So, we're able to social distance inside the building. We take temperatures every day. So we try to go by the guidelines, and we try to make sure that we go above and beyond that if we can every day. And it is talked about every day. We do a 9 a.m. stand-up where we bring all the management team together, and it is commonly talked about to make sure we're cleaning and not to forget about, to do those things.
Well, one of the things that stood out to me is the long-term effects of doing that, not just while COVID is happening, but even post-COVID. What does that mean to efficiencies to kind of continue some of those standards?
Well, for me, I think post-COVID, and I think even before COVID, it was something that you just lived with, but there's a lot of other bugs that can come inside your facility besides COVID. There's stomach viruses and flus and different things that you don't want to have those inside your facility either, right, because they can cause half of an apartment to be out, if it takes hold in an area. Yeah. So I think just moving past the COVID, it's something that from a best practice standpoint, we were going to continue to do moving forward. Absolutely.
I think just with the surface touching and cleaning,
Yes.
those germs that, again, we kind of almost got to we have been at a place where it's like flu. It's just accepted. We're going to have a couple weeks or something where it's like, people are the flu's going to run through the building, but instead of looking at it kind of ahead of time, well, what if we actually take steps ahead of time to minimize it? And maybe COVID's in some ways a blessing in disguise to help us sort of evaluate our standards.
Sure, and if you even think beyond just cleaning, even taking temperatures, if someone comes in with a temperature, they're probably contagious. Whether it is COVID, the flu, or whatever that might be, those folks we would want to have them go home and go see their physician and get tested for whatever it is. So I do feel moving forward that is something we will continue to do from here on out.
Awesome. Speaking of COVID and PPE, we've got with us today, this is a product that I'm very excited about because we have it. This is not a situation where we're waiting on something in customs, waiting on it to clear out, but this is our new gel gallon sanitizer that we are partnering with a company here in Tennessee to produce for us. I know out of the gate early, one of the sanitizers that we worked with, the more thinner distillery sanitizer, created some challenges for us on the shipping. And can you talk a little bit about what makes this sort of, as far as in the way of being portable, local, what some of the advantages are of this just from a production and getting it out the door standpoint for you?
Well, we learned some lessons from the first round of hand sanitizer that was liquid based. This is gel. Obviously the cap and seal that's on there is the key. Mm-hmm. That allows you to ship it without having the breakage and or leakage that you might not have otherwise. So I think that's the number one thing. I think we also learned to ship in full case quantities and do some things, just to be smart. But to be fair, when we first got the first round of hand sanitizer, we were trying to get it out as quick as we could to help everyone, right? So you learn through that, and that's what we've done here.
I think it's really cool to see the adjustment on the fly of how we shifted. You talk about something like a cap, and you're like, you almost take it for granted because this is a very familiar bottling container. This is a bleach. We've seen this for years and years, but this is not something that's native to Gold Bond. We've not used something like this before. You don't realize that before us, people already figured out this is the way to ship it and not have it show up in a FedEx crushed box that's just spread out all over the place.
And it's contaminated other boxes.
It's clean at least, but but still that's not what people are wanting. And it's a high crunch time too. Everyone's stressed right now because obviously business has taken a turn, but fortunately we are staying very busy, bringing more people back to the plant. We're continuing to get staffed back up, and we've been running production of things really the whole time. We haven't really missed a day.
No, we've not stopped producing orders for our customers from day one. Yeah. It has been a challenge because you have to work around some things, but no, we have continued to produce and take care of customers every time we can.
Well, I love whenever it feels like each day that at least I've been back this week, I feel like I see more and more people around, but even with this being certainly a driving force between this, the masks, and the other things that we have that are part of that PPE line. I know that we're starting to see, and maybe you can even speak to this too. I know this week I've been quoting more things that are not sanitizer and gloves, more kits, other creative quotes of things. Are you seeing kind of production pick up on some of those other items in the plant a little bit right now? Or
we are. We're definitely in some quoting situations for some large quantities, some things that maybe 6-7 weeks ago just weren't there. Definitely, I had a sales rep in my office this morning talking about a large opportunity for next week.
Yeah.
So it's coming back.
Yeah.
I think like any other business, with what's going on out there, it may not come back full blast, so to speak, right off the bat, but we're definitely seeing traction, yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Any comments that we're seeing, Josh, or anything we need to speak to?
Mark enjoyed the.
Oh, it was Mark.
comment
I didn't
about
say the name of anybody.
I mean,
but-
so
Wow.
one of the Marks. There's
One of the
several
Marks.
that
We have a lot of
work
Marks.
I'm very
that work here.
surprised that there would be a mark involved.
None
Let
of
me
my
say that.
None of my 9 coworkers in the office. Nothing from that. No apologies about not. Okay. Well.
No.
I feel like they do owe him an apology. I want to go on the record and stating that because he was kind of hurt about it, So
There was a
I
private moment where I'm just going to be.
he confided in me the feelings of betrayal. I'll use that word.
Well, Brooke did just say happy birthday to you, Brian.
It is your birthday.
It
That's
is.
right.
It is my birthday today.
How old?
I am
Putting you on the spot, but-
44 years young.
Yeah.
As my son reminded me,
Yeah.
Dad, that's only
Okay.
16 years away from 60.
Yep.
So that's,
I guess that's a way to look at it.
Phineas, that's great to look at me being that much close. Apparently 60 is at the age where he thinks that it's all really going to fall apart. But yeah, 44 today.
Yeah, I can go ahead and tell you from experience, 50 is about the age things start to fall apart, but that's fine.
I'm very happy for 44, and it's a good. Usually my birthday does kind of fall around the Memorial Day weekend, so it's kind of like it always feels a little bit kind of like a holiday going into it. So
Nice.
Thank you, Brooke. I appreciate it. Well, I appreciate you, John, coming on
Sure,
and getting a
thank
chance
you.
to put a face with the production that's happening here and coming out, and excited about the products we have that are here and the products that are to come. From all of us here at Gold Bond, we certainly wish you all very happy and be very safe, certainly this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you next time.